The other day I decided to play a little game called Guess the Year, and I put up a series of pictures and I asked people to guess what year they were taken in, and it really threw people off and I found it really interesting. So here's photo number 1 of the series. Photo number 2, I don't know what's going on here, but it got me thinking about some things, particularly about how we think about and talk about fashion trends, especially now in this social media age and in a time where nostalgia is really popular and we're really obsessed with assigning a specific year to like every trend that we see. So if you want to play along, go ahead and pause the video right now and guess the year of this photo. Don't cheat or it won't be fun. I will tell you the answer, but answers that I got ranged anywhere from 2002 to like present day. People were guessing, is this right now, 2024? And there were a few factors that went into these guesses that people told me about. Number 1, obviously, are the shades. I think this is the first thing that caught people's attention. This can tell us that this was probably taken in the LMFAO era, we can call it. So probably sometime roughly in like 2009 through 2011, we'll say. The next thing was this pea coat, and I think this pea coat actually really threw people off. To some people, it really pointed to the girl boss era of the early 2010s. Some people, it felt very early 2000s. I remember being really into pea coats in like 2004, so that is also fair. Speaking of the girl boss thing, this white watch with the rhinestones around it, again, really points to that early 2010s kind of period. A lot of people based on that watch specifically guessed 2012 or 2013. But there were two things that seemed to really confuse people and made them think that this photo was either taken well before that early 2010s period or well after. The first is the photo quality. It definitely does not look like my iPhone photos from like 2012, 2013. Those look really bad, and this looks very clear. So this really confused some people. They were like, is this now? Like, how does this picture look so good? And the best I can really say is that this was a digital camera because I did not have an iPhone yet when this photo was taken. And I guess my digital camera was just like good quality. I really don't know. The thing that threw people off the most are the flare jeans that I'm wearing in this photo. Because if we look at this, a lot of things, the watch, the pea coat, even the way that I'm styling my hair, my earrings, the sunglasses, really point again to the early 2010s. But we have assigned the early 2010s a very specific silhouette when we think back on the fashion trends of that time. It does not include flare jeans. If we think about 2012, for example, nobody's thinking of flares. Everybody's thinking of skinny jeans. This is actually me in March of 2011. It was St. Patrick's Day, obviously. Not only am I wearing flare jeans, and I remember buying these jeans, I probably bought them in like, 2008 maybe, but I'm still wearing them here early 2011. And also these like funny like round-toed, closed-toed wedges they were like my winter wedges. I don't know. If you look at just this part of the photo, like if you don't look at my top half, if you just look at that flare leg and those shoes, yeah, it totally screams 2008. Even I would think that. But the thing is that we did not approach trends in real life back then the way that they are approached on social media. I personally did not like skinny jeans. They weren't my thing. I liked flares. I held on for a really long time. So yeah, I was still wearing my flares in 2011. And you know what? Nobody thought that was weird. Nobody said a word to me. Because before social media decided that we were going to churn fashion trends out at this rapid rate that we are now, we didn't think of fashion trends like a switch, right? It wasn't like one day it's in, the next day it's out. It was a slow progression, which is how fashion trends generally work. It's just now with social media, we have trained our brains to think that something is either in or it's out. And if you wear something that has been deemed out, that switch has been flipped off, something bad will happen to you. I don't know what we think will happen to us, but let me tell you, nothing bad will happen to you. Nobody cares. And it really sparked a lot of fun conversations. One, obviously about fashion trends and social media, but also about the way that we think about fashion trends in hindsight. And I see this on my own videos all the time, right? I make nostalgia fashion content and people will always comment stuff like, that specific shirt style was really a little bit more 2005 than it was 2006. And it's like, maybe I was just late to the trend. Maybe I just decided I was going to wear that shirt longer than you did. And while there are always going to be really short-lived, kind of fast and furious, more fad type things that come and go very quickly and will very, very easily and pretty accurately position certain things within a really narrow time period, even down to 1 year, most of the time, that's just not how it works.